Working from home? Well, right now in these strange times it's kind of more working at home, and here I am doing the same. So my name is Joe Shield from Imaginarium Learning and Development, and I am an old boy of Reigate Grammar School. I was there in the 1980s. That led me to studying psychology, or philosophy and psychology, and for the last 27 years I've been on an ongoing kind of mission, if you like, to figure out people, what makes them tick. And of course one of the huge things here is right now working from home and the sense of potential isolation, working in isolation. Now for some people, the kind of introverts, some of them quite enjoy that, particularly if they've got the place to themselves. For other people, kind of more extroverted, they're going to struggle with that perhaps a little bit more. So there is that difference between isolation and loneliness. And there are loads of guides out there on the internet about, working from home and useful tips, brilliant. However, the thing I wanted to address was the emotional roller coaster, the emotional aspect of it, that sometimes there can be, up days, down days, that kind of sense of what is going on, uncertainty, and these can all have their own toll on who we are and what we're doing. I quite like the distinction between that it's okay to have a bit of perhaps melancholy from time to time. Depression's a whole nother ball game, but really what we're looking at is how do you manage your emotions. Now one of the ways, and this is going to sound kind of perhaps obvious, but just make sure you do it, is make contact with other people, even if you are more introverted and love your own space. So this is like with colleagues, for example. If you're part of a team, make sure that you are on having a Zoom video conference, Skyping, whatever, so you can see people's faces. There's something about the whites of their eyes. Being able to see other people's faces is so important. Obviously, telephone calls, etc., but make this a time not only of getting some work done wherever your space happens to be, and by the way, make sure you have a way of packing it all up at the end of the day, or closing the door on it in some way as well, so that it's not just hanging around. This is all about resilience and keeping yourself sane. Keep work at work, and then have a space where you can then kind of leave that, or pack that up, put it away, come back to work. But I'm going to come back to this idea of, even if you've got, maybe you are the manager, but if you've got a manager who's not particularly big on video conferencing, etc., just make sure you're communicating with your own colleagues. It's not just about the team aspect of that, the relationship aspect, it is, I promise you, about the psychological health element of that as well, particularly if there's certain colleagues you're kind of friends with, or good or friendly with anyway. Communicate with one another, see the faces, the eyes, it's all in the eyes. Anyway, that's all for now. Next week, it's all going to be for the managers, so actually managing remote teams.